Hello, hello, hello. It is me, Danielle Carmelita, your favorite tarot reader and astrologer. Welcome if you are new, welcome if you are old. Today, we are going to dive deep into this powerful cosmic event of one of them of this year, and this is the partial solar eclipse in a sign Aries. I've already discussed the first eclipse of the year of 2025 during the spring season. Look for that video. Actually, it is definitely in my playlist. So go ahead and check out this playlist and you shall receive that video. Okay. But this isn't just just a regular eclipse. It's more about than the first video I did of the eclipse. That one is a little bit more intense, but we do have some major energy that's going to shake some things up. I am going to discuss the Sabian symbols. I'm going to talk about Trump's chart. I'm going to talk about Elon Musk chart. If you live in Los Angeles, the chart will be discussed, and also America and Israel's chart. We have a lot of T-squares involving this eclipse. So that's why this mild eclipse may be powerful for a lot of people than we actually think. Plus, I've got some jaw-dropping predictions, and I talk about celebrities and athletes and warriors because that's what Aries kind of, the bold, the daredevil energy people. So we have predictions in that. And we'll talk about how this eclipse is going to affect you personally and the world. So stay tuned, grab your tea, get your matcha. I have my jasmine tea. That is my favorite green tea. Let's get started. That was the wrong one.
3, 2, 1.
I love you.
I do love you, and I need to move that sucker on up so that won't happen again. Okay. Anyway, that's my outro. I'm gonna have an intro and an outro. Anyway, but before we start this video, come on, we have business to take care of. If you guys are not new here, you already know what we do. Okay. This is a time to like, this is a time to comment. We are gonna put a special emoji. We're gonna put a moon emoji because we're talking about the eclipse. So before I dive into this video, and if you love astrology, I also want you to know that I have a newsletter, and you can join my newsletter for free. And you're probably like, why would I want to join that? Just another email. But I'm talking about the weekly astrology updates. Okay. If you miss my YouTube video, you won't miss this. You'll be able to even go back quickly to your email and see what happens on Tuesday or what happens on Wednesday. Why did you get into an argument with your lover on Friday? All that is just written down. So you get that exclusive content. Also, in my last newsletter, I even broke down, I think, the full moon in Leo, and I put the rituals on what you can do, which is the full moon in Leo happened today. Anyway, but yes, check the link down below. It is free. It also helps me stay in touch with you because we cannot trust these social media platforms, and YouTube is a social media platform. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, this is the last Aries eclipse. So this one is kind of important too. And this is the end of the eclipse of the Libra Aries access. If you I always say access and axis. I say it wrong. So just so you know, when you have the north node in Aries and you have that south node in Libra, this is the last of that eclipse. And we had certain themes with these eclipses that were happening. So this is the last of the eclipse where you have a sign in Aries where it's all about yourself and you're closing a karmic chapter. And this is all about integrating and releasing the lessons from the last 18 to 24 months during this natal transit. Now, Aries is a fire sign. It is a cardinal sign. It's all about initiation and independence and self-assertion. There's courage. There's leadership, which we did have a little bit with Trump with that, right? Conflict and also very impulsive energy. So this also could be dealing if you were in a relationship and now you got divorced. That is this eclipse involved. And we're still finishing this off, right? Since this is the last eclipse, there's a final chapter here. So now you are starting to embrace your individuality, your leadership. Maybe you were someone who had a colleague and now you're like, you know what? This isn't working. I got my own business, and this is the final closing of that. This is the time to you can insert your individuality. There's a culmination of personal and collective battles, your identity, your leadership, your self-determination, and all this conflict is starting to resolve. Now, this first eclipse, I think, was in the sign Libra with this themes here, and this was with the Gaza, and that's when Gaza came down and did the borders. I'm not sure if that was the first eclipse, but that eclipse was a big part of this theme. You're talking about your neighbors, you're talking about someone you have a relationship with, you're talking about your open enemies versus yourself and independence, and you no longer want to depend on it. And there was a war, which Aries does represent with that. So that is all dealing with this eclipse. So I just explained to you on a global scale and on a more personal scale how this can affect you, right? This partial solar eclipse in Aries is going to be on March 29th. 2025 is going to be at 9 degrees. Now, this is a partial eclipse, meaning that only part of the sun will be covered by the moon. And while partial eclipses are less intense than the total eclipse, which I did discuss in that last video, so please check that out, they will still bring some powerful energy and some new beginnings. Now, what does an eclipse mean? I discussed that in the last video too, so I don't want to get too involved on what the eclipse is, but it does signify or symbolizes, well, the energy is about significant shifts, and it's going to be about new beginnings and faded events, and often it could be revealing a hidden truth. Oh my gosh, who doesn't love that tea? Okay, I love that. So now with this partial solar eclipse, and it's mild compared to the total eclipse that we are going to experience within the spring season. The details of it's going to happen at 3:57 a.m. PDT time. I might have to do a commercial or something because we are getting our roof looked at, so there may be a disruption. I do have to tell you that, but back to this eclipse is going to last for 20 to 25 minutes. That means that this eclipse will affect you for 20 months or 25 months, so almost a year. Okay, up 2 years. Okay, the solar eclipse is all about new beginnings, and people who can see this eclipse is going to be North America, United States, and Eastern Canada. Is going to be Europe, much of Europe, including Paris, London, Amsterdam, and Berlin. Asia, North Asia in particular. In Africa, you're talking about Northwest Africa. I can't say the countries. Belushya, and okay, so Belushya, Guba, Arkhangelsk, and Russia. I butchered the words. I'm so sorry. No disrespect to your country and where you're from, but yes, that part. And then in South America, we have they will be able to see it. Greenland, the Arctic Ocean, and the Atlantic Ocean will also be a part. And wherever you can see this eclipse, most likely it will affect you. So that's why I'm telling you the locations of the eclipse. Now let's talk about Aries energy in an Aries eclipse. Aries, I did talk about a little bit earlier. It's about bringing themes of independence, leadership, and bold action. So that's why I said maybe you had a business and now you want to go on your own, and you had a business partner and it didn't quite work out. Or maybe you are getting a divorce and now you decide to be single. Or maybe you've decided to start something new, and it could be something where an open enemy, you saw that they were doing it or you're disliking it, and now you decide to be independent on your own. Okay, Aries is all about being fearless, self-expression, initiating. There's new chapter, there's life. It's ruled by Mars, and Mars is all about courage and independence and leadership and opportunities for bold new ventures, hence a new business. Okay, and self-reliance and standing on your own 2 feet, reclaiming your autonomy and trusting your instincts. And Aries is always about taking risk and going into the unknown and getting out of your comfort and having courage. And it always is action for leading to growth. So this eclipse embodies all that energy. It is a fire sign, so it's very passionate. It moves fast. There's urgency, and it's an urgency to break free from your past. And it's your more personal power, and it's also about a fresh start. Eclipse also amplifies themes of self-empowerment and assertiveness. There's anger, because you're confronting people. You're not afraid of the conflict. You may be setting some boundaries. And because Aries is the ruler of Aries is Mars. It is the planet of war and aggression. So there could be war or some type of conflict on a smaller scale, not just on a global scale. There's unresolved anger and conflicts that could be happening, and you're setting a firm boundary. I just said boundary and firm in one word, a berm. And you're standing up for yourself. Now, also, if we look at Mars, it is in the sign Cancer currently as we are looking at this eclipse, which let me put this eclipse. My screen share was not working. So I'm going to just show you this eclipse here. And if we look at the eclipse here, then you see that I can sit here. If you look at the solar eclipse here, then you can see that, oh, we have to look at Cancer. Cancer is in the sign Cancer. We have to look at Mars, and Mars is in the sign Cancer. So you are talking about your emotions, your home, stability, safety, women, where you feel safe, where you were, something from your past. Yeah, all that is affected with this eclipse. And if you're thinking like, wait, I'm sorry. How can I? Oh, here we go. And if you're thinking, okay, well, what does that have to do with business, my home? It also could represent mom. The Cancer energy also is something where you feel safe. And now Mars is in that sign. So now it's like, okay, this is where you feel safe, but you have to use that Aries energy to be bold and not just always go to your safety net. Okay. Now, it will be still in a pre-shadow phase during this eclipse. So be aware of that Mars will be. And that means that there's something that is still redoing and reflecting on. Now, it's also going to be sextile Uranus. So that's positive. Uranus is expected unexpected. It's something dealing with social media, communication, technology in the future, or surprises and intellect. Okay. It's going to trine Saturn. Actually, let me put the chart back up. And Mars will be trining Saturn as well. So it's sextile Uranus. Uranus is in that fourth house. It's going to trine. Well, isn't it in that fourth house for you guys? Yes, it's going to trine Saturn, and Saturn is sitting in that second house and the north node. So Mars is sitting pretty good. It's doing some great things. It's talking about longevity. It's talking about long-term things of this future, and it's working with you emotionally. So you emotionally be stable. You're gaining and learning with the north node. So that's positive. There's positive lessons in spirituality and love, long-term charity or long-term compassion or long-term emotions that are involved with this. Energy works well with the details and being responsible and maybe even gaining a spiritual mentor will all be involved with this eclipse. So Mars is working great with this eclipse. That is a great bonus. And this is also about you being courageous and you starting something new. Okay. Now let's talk about the Sabian symbols. And when I talk about the Sabian symbols, then it gets a little bit more deeper. And what is the Sabian symbols? If you looked at that chart that I just showed, the eclipse was in Aries, and that is where the sun and the moon are sitting close together. They're sitting close together in the third house in this picture. It doesn't matter what house it is. This is just a random chart, but not random, but the chart time is just random, okay? But it's sitting in that third house in the sign Aries. It's sitting at 9 degrees. It's sitting exactly at 9 degrees, okay? So that means it's way more clarity with this. So 9 degrees for this eclipse is going to mean that you're talking about divination with the Sabian symbols. And divination is a symbol that speaks to, okay, it's called a crystal glazer, okay? And this symbol speaks to a global perspective into the capacity to quickly grasp the significance of all the facets of a situation all at once, okay? And understand the meaning and the coincidental events. This image of the crystal gazer emphasizes the world of potential as intuitive and perceived through the clairvoyance and vision. Okay, this is someone who is using their intuition. Okay, on a practical level, this degree can symbolize a situation where all the ordinary means of solving a problem has been exhausted, and now you must use your tools of divination. So, in short words, to make it very simple, This eclipse, with the degree that it's in, is involving using your intuition. Okay, something's going to be off, and we will discuss what will be off with this eclipse. Something's going to be off, and you're going to have to just focus on using your intuition. You're going to have to use your foresight. Vision is all about trusting your inner guidance and taking bold steps towards your future. While doing that, this symbol represents psychic sensitivity, prophetic insight. There could be something connected with your dreams because Mars is in the sign Cancer. It is the ruler of this eclipse. Yes, but there's something there. On the negative side, with this Sabian symbol, you don't want to snoop into anyone's business. It's all about having boundaries. People not prying into other people's business. Foolish or yes, that's what I'm looking at my notes, and sometimes it's gibberish because I talk my notes into the computer because I don't want to type it. Yes, but your greatest advantage lies in looking ahead and not prying into other people's business. Okay. Yes, what do we have? Reflection, sensitivity. There's something connected with a global perspective. And that was also said in the Sabian symbol, and there's potential. So there's this energy of having potential and having faith. Okay. Keywords: intuition, clairvoyance, vision, reflection, sensitivity, global perspective, and potential. Now, those two things connect to Sagittarius. And why you're like, why are you bringing up Sagittarius? I'm going to explain this to you. Okay. Sagittarius is also a 9 degree. Okay. There's several different explanations and studies on degrees. And in Nike, I can't pronounce his name, Nikolai's perspective, he's a famous astrologer back in the past. He believes that each degree was assigned to a zodiac sign. So 9 degrees without the Sabian symbol, you have to actually look at a book and you have to read each degree. But this one is simple. You can just remember 9 degrees represents Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is all about global energy. It's about wisdom. It's about abundance, expansion, higher level, traveling, exploring. And so when you have this eclipse in 9 degrees, there's the potential and there's something worldly that's going to happen with this eclipse. I find that to be very positive. Remember, it's connected to intuition, and you're going to only have to rely on your intuition. And it's also something global, and there's some potential there. Okay. Now, what else do we have? And it's in the sign Aries, and Aries is all about something new. It's something about yourself and leadership. Okay. So something regarding yourself that's going to be new, and something that's a new beginning, is going to involve some clairvoyance. It's going to involve your intuition and only relying on your intuition. Now, who's going to be feeling this eclipse the most? We are talking about, since it's in 9 degrees in Aries, it's going to affect all my cardinal signs. Okay. It's not going to be the best for you guys, or maybe there's a challenge there and you're going to learn a lesson. So you're talking about my Libras, my Cancers, and my Capricorns. If you look at your chart, if you have anything in the early degrees, around 9 degrees, you're going to be feeling this the most. Aries and Libra also will be feeling this the strongest. Libra, this is opposing your chart. So if you have anything early 9 degrees in your chart, and it could be a Venus, it could be Mercury, it could be the moon, this will be affecting you. If you have any, yes, I said the cardinal degrees, this might be working well with all my fire signs because this eclipse will be trining your chart. So I'm talking about my Sagittarius and Leos. And you can have both. You can have it working for you and at the same time not working for you. You know, it's like that double sword kind of energy. Now, this eclipse is connected to the North Node. Now, what does that mean? The North Node and the South Node, they're always involved with the eclipse. And this also determines if this is an eclipse that's going to be about releasing or something that's going to be joining. Usually when it's the South Node, it could be hard because who wants to let go of things? But this is a North Node, and this is about something new that's added on to you. Okay. So like I said, this could be a new business, or this could be the new energy of you loving yourself more than ever. When the eclipse aligns with the North Node, it adds spirituality because it's in the sign Pisces, and being exclusive and quality. It signals to a karmic shift, a spiritual growth, emotional healing, surrendering control, forgiveness. All this represents Pisces. North Node means what you're trying to achieve in this lifetime. It's your future. It's something you want to achieve and gain, and something new. And it's in Pisces. So also involving that intuition, which we talked about in the Sabian symbols. There's compassion. There's also, in the negative light, there could be confusion and escapism. Okay. So I'm going to discuss both good and bad. But both of those things are going to be probably one of the other, or both are going to involve this eclipse to help something eclipse to change in your life to bring something new. Okay. The North Node is about the collective and personal destiny. So it's not just like you growing, it's also about the collective growing. Okay. Pisces is a water sign, is ruled by Neptune, and that is the modern ruler, and the traditional ruler is Jupiter. So if I go back to this chart, we need to see what is the T on this chart and what are they doing, right? So if we look at Jupiter, Jupiter is sitting here in Gemini. It looks pretty, okay, pretty. It doesn't have much going on. So Jupiter is going great. It might be sextiling a little bit. This is an 8-degree orb. There may be some sextiling. Sextiling is positive. So there's abundance for you. There's potential. The world is at your fingertips, especially in Gemini in the form of communication. So that works out. Neptune is involved in this eclipse, and I will talk about that a little bit later. And it's also conjunct Venus. Venus represents a partnership, which is very interesting because you're talking about solo energy, but it could also represent a woman. It also could represent and a Venus in Pisces could represent a spiritual woman, okay, or someone, a death of a woman, okay. It doesn't mean that the woman is going to be someone you're in close relationship, but maybe someone who passes away. Something new will happen to you, okay. I'm just telling you how it all could relate. But when you have these two planets, Jupiter and Neptune, and I'm thinking that my cursor works. But Neptune is in the second house and Jupiter is in the fifth house, and it's in the sign Gemini. Neptune is in the second house in the sign Pisces. Okay, just so you know. Now, when you have those planets, you're talking about faith, you're talking about religion, you're talking about abundance, you're talking about compassion, intuition, creativity, and a spiritual awakening. There's something very spiritual about those two planets, which is very connected to Pisces, which is also connected to the Sabian symbol, that 9-degree. Now, Pisces energy is all about releasing, okay, releasing, and now you have it in a call to release logical rigid thinking, South Node in Virgo. Oh, that is something separate. I don't know why I have that. Anyway, but it's a spiritual awakening. There's a higher purpose. It's about finding the meaning beyond the material world, embracing intuition over logic, trusting your gut and going with the flow. There's emotional healing, there's compassion, there's energy work, letting go any type of emotional baggage, releasing the need to control. I repeat for the people in the back, this eclipse is about releasing the need for control. That is what that Pisces energy is going to bring. At the same time, we're dealing with Aries with something started. I want you to understand how to tie it all in together. When I first learned astrology, that was hard for me. But once you get to really understand life, this is how it is. Okay. Yeah. And it's also very creative. Okay. Yes. Now let's talk about the themes. First, I want to talk about the rulers of this chart of this eclipse, and then we'll talk about the theme. So this is in a Decan. I'll bring the chart back up. If you see that this Aries is early degree, if you look at where the moon and the sun is, it's sitting next to Aries. You probably can't tell because Mercury's in a way there, but it's sitting next to Aries. And when it's sitting next to Aries, where the Decan is, it means it's in the first beginning degree of Aries. And each 10 degrees it changes. Okay, so the first Decan of Aries, that 9-degree, represents Mars. So it's very strong. There is no added element to Aries being its true self. Okay, Aries again is about courageous, something new, something bold, pure initiation, fearless in new beginnings, taking that first step. Okay. And when you have Mars in there, that means you're really motivated to do it. So you're really going to have the physical vitality to get something started. There's physical action. There's the body and the movement. It is the leader of the zodiac, and there are personal goals that's going to be achieved with this eclipse. Okay. Now let's talk about the key aspects, and I'm going to bring the chart back up for us to see the key aspects. Okay. Now this eclipse which is sitting there as you are looking at it. It's sitting in the third house and is at 9 degrees. The sun and the moon are sitting close together. That makes it the eclipse. And the north node is sitting close to it too. Okay. Now it's conjunct Mercury in Aries. Mercury is retrograding. It's at 0 degrees. That is a very potent degree. Okay. We will get into that. Also, what's very important is that Neptune is in Pisces and is at 29 degrees. And that's a very important degree because 29 degrees means that it's finishing. Something is finishing. Now we have Venus sitting there, and that's sitting very close to Neptune. So that's affecting Neptune. And then one other positive thing that we have, which is small, but if you work towards this, this is really great, is that you have Pluto sextile in the sign Aquarius. Sextile is something that you have to work on. However, if you work on it, God will reward you. Okay. So let's talk about how this is going to affect the eclipse. First of all, Mercury retrograding in the sign Aries at 0 degrees. Okay. You're talking about rethinking some bold actions. You're talking about communication. Now, I want you to understand that 9 degrees and 0 degrees, that separation is whenever something is sitting close to the sun, whenever a planet is sitting close to a sun, and it's not too close, they're not hugging, it's a little bit distance apart, so like this 8 orb that it has, the planet cannot see. I've explained this, I think, in a few recent videos. It cannot see. So like I have my lights here for the video, and let's say the light is like this close. It's like I'm blinded. I can't see. Okay. When it's far away, just enough, it's fine. But when it gets closer, there is a part where I just cannot see. So that means that Mercury is called combust, is not working its best. Mercury is the energy of logic, it's our intellect, it's how we process information, it's how we also organize certain things, it's our mental energy. Okay. And when that's not working, and it's in a sign Aries, so it's something new and it's something about yourself, and but it's the inability to clearly express yourself, it's the inability to clearly process information, and the sun's brightness is outshining Mercury's abilities. This also ties back to the Sabian symbol, where things are not quite working as best. So you have to use your intuition. Okay. So that really goes into that. Now, Mercury's in a sign Aries. Mercury is also retrograding. Okay. Aries is about impulsive energy. So someone may be having some impulsive communication. Maybe they're too direct. Okay. Maybe they're pausing and reflecting, or maybe they're not. Maybe they're normally impulsive and say things fast or say something bold, and now it's not working. All that could be happening. This is the energy to pause and reflect, more like, okay. But the logic and the communication is not quite working, and so you're going to have to you're going to have to depend on your intuition. Okay. So yes, that is that, and I do think there will be some confusion. I do think there will be some impulsivity happening, some misunderstandings, some miscommunication, some hostile words, some very strong, harsh words, and you trying to achieve something new. Okay. Now it's conjunct Uranus, and Uranus is at 29 degrees, and that's at 0 degrees. 0 degrees means very pure. So people are really going to be talking fast, not thinking clear. You're going to be like, what is wrong with you? Okay. So that's that part. And now you have it conjunct Neptune. This eclipse conjunct Neptune, and it's at 29 degrees. That's an urgency. That's a very strong degree. And there's an urgency. It's like I have to hurry up because I have to hurry up before it closes. Neptune's about to close in the sign Pisces. So we have to hurry up. So there's this urgency. And the urgency, Neptune's in Pisces, and Neptune and Pisces is the same thing. It's actually so much the same that it's even stronger. It's making Neptune even stronger in its original energy. And the energy is your illusions, or confusion, deception, but actually a spiritual awakening, your intuition, your energy to be very compassionate. And this also ties to that Sabian symbol. The Sabian symbol is saying to use your intuition, and it's going to be so strong because it's such an urgency that you can only rely on that. Okay. Yes. But there is a rush, and it's involving your intuition. Okay. Neptune, let me see what else we have. The conjunction of this Aries creates a tension, or adds a strong element of boldness, action driven, dreamy, ethereal. Neptune and Pisces, it could represent confusion. Be very clear, especially with that Mercury being combust. and the only thing you can rely on is your intuition, heightened creativity, heightened spiritual awakenings. Okay. It could be about releasing, it could be about forgiveness, it could be about deceptions, it could be about facing reality head on, because you have that Aries energy. It's about heading the head. There it could be some blurred deceptions, blurred boundaries, could be happening, something with fantasy. Now this also Neptune in Pisces also represents privacy, secrets, what is hidden. And this is also that sun is sitting close to there, and sometimes it wants to highlight what is hidden. But remember what the Sabian symbol says is to not get into people's private life. Remember that this can last up to 2 years. This can last up to 20 months, 20 to 25 months. So that is 2 years. Okay. Mind your business if it's involving anything Aries, because that's what this eclipse, especially if this is hitting your natal chart in any way. Okay. Now, also it's sextiling Pluto. So Pluto is really good because Pluto is intensity in a great way. It's very transformative. There's some psychological healing happening here. There could be something that's beyond the surface level and is getting deep. Okay. Yeah, but this is in a sign of Aquarius. So this could be something that is a freedom of speech of some sort, something with technology, something with a group or a corporation, or something with your future. And now there's a transition, there's healing, there's intensity in a good way. Maybe there's a mystery that's going to be revealed for your future, or a mystery that's going to be revealed in a form of communication, or your hopes and dreams. Okay. Yes, but this is also, Pluto is empowerment. So there could be some empowerment with your communication in the long run when you work this eclipse and mind your business. Okay. Empowering bold actions, courage to take control over your life. On a collective, this could be something transformative with social media, because collective always works with the textiles, always is very, it work, you see it with the collective. Yes, but it could be something also. Aquarius could represent a group of some sort, like I always say, like the Mexican mafia, or a sorority, or a book club. It represents a friendship as well. So you do have that. Yeah, a rebirth of something, but a rebirth of you being very courageous, or a transformation. So it's almost like this person was a leader, but now you are the leader. They're handing you the baton, and that could be a female, because remember we have Venus conjunct in Pisces. Now let me just tell you, Venus is involved not that much with the eclipse, but it is involved with Neptune. And so since Venus is involved with Neptune, you are talking about having harmony and balance. So being very at peace when it comes to your intuition. There could be some type of partner, or some type of aesthetic or art and creativity involved with this, using your intuition as well. Okay. Now Aries is also combined with Pisces. Oh, I did not know you were still here. My son's scary. I thought he was gone this whole time. Anyway, Aries is also involved with Pisces, meaning that Neptune's in Pisces, Venus is in Pisces, and this eclipse is in Neptune. I mean, in Aries. So you have this bold energy and starting something new, and it's integrated with surrendering, it's integrated with closing, it's integrated with something that's ending. Okay. So initiating something new and releasing rigid control. Okay. It's all about gaining something new and releasing something, forgiving someone. So if you are someone who is getting a divorce and you're newly single, and I don't want to like push divorce, but I'm trying to think of something where it's you singular when you once was a part of a partnership, and this could be work as well. So if you are someone who is newly into yourself or doing something by yourself, there needs to be a forgiveness and release as well. Okay, because you have that. Also, there's healing with Pisces energy, and so you want to heal the old patterns so you can have courage to move forward with this eclipse. Yes, on a global scale, you're talking about social movements and initiation, maybe for something you're fighting for, something that you're driven to do. It could be actual conflict and war. However, there is this compassion and healing element, or even charity involved. Very much makes me think of Gaza. We'll talk about Israel in a little bit, in a second. Yes, so we have that. Higher moral purpose. Collective action with higher moral purpose. That's also in my notes. Okay. So let's talk about some themes here and predictions. Okay. So, predicting wise, okay? A lot of courageous beginnings with a reflective twist. You won't be able to, you're going to have to do a lot of reflecting. Mercury is retrograding, Mercury is not working as well. Communication will be messing up, and you have to be bold and courageous. So, be aware of that. That's going to be happening for the collective or you individually. So, maybe you'll have a very strategic plan and the strategy is not working as best, and you're going to have to use your intuition to figure out how to go around this. For example, let's say you are starting your new business and you're like, oh, that these are the steps, because I use my Mercury energy to plan it out, to be strategic, to intellectually communicate to my team. This is how it's going to work, but the team is not working with you. And you're like, why isn't this team working with me? I communicated to them. I have a plan. And you're going to have to use your intuition to figure that out. Okay. You're going to be like, you know what? I felt the other day that Becky was being shady. Maybe we should use the word Karen. Karen was being shady. I felt it in my intuition. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to release Karen from the team and we're going to start something new. Karen may have been a big part of this team, but my intuition saying that Karen can't be a part of this team. And Karen is a female who's also very secretive. That's that Venus and Pisces. Okay. But we're going to use my intuition and we're just going to let her go. We're going to release her. And guess what? I'm going to forgive her. If she's going to ask for a severance package, I'm going to give it to her and I'm going to be very forgiving. Okay. Yes. But there's something that's going to be started new. There's a leader, there's someone bold. All these things are going to be happening globally or personally in your life. Okay. It's all about your courage and assertiveness. Let me see what else we have. Some subtle new beginnings, some subtle initiations. There may be some disruptions with leadership. Or there may be a disruption because an eclipse makes it change without your permission. Okay. There could be a disruption of you being very comfortable in a situation and you chilling, and now you have to step up. There's like gentle nudges for you to move forward, or a gentle nudge for your country or where you are, for someone to step up and be bold. Okay. There's moments of clarity, though, that could be happening, especially when Mercury enters that Kazemi, because now it's blinded. But there will be some clarity eventually, but now there's your intuition. I keep repeating it because it's so imperative. But there also could be a prediction of something happening with leadership. Someone stepping into a leadership role and you weren't even ready to step into this leadership role. Yes, but also let me see what else we have. Something where you have to start using your physical energy too. Maybe you're someone who didn't work out and now you are going to start working out. Maybe there's a message or something intuitive saying that now you have to physically move your body, because that Aries is very physical. It's not necessarily about the health, but it's more about using your physical energy. Okay. This also is about breaking free and letting go any kind of restraints. This is a very personal, major personal growth energy, and so people may be having a lot of self-care that could be happening to you already. There are people who are probably really independent or starting something independent. Maybe they said, you know what, we were going to join a church together, but I'm going to join a church by myself. That's very Eclipse in Aries conjunct Neptune and Venus and Neptune. Okay. In Aries. Also, there's something that's very courageous that is going to be initiated for you or the collective. Okay. So those are my general predictions that I see with this eclipse. Now, I want to talk about Elon Musk. I didn't screenshot their charts. I'm just going to tell you they have some T-squares in their chart. Okay. Trump does, Elon does, Los Angeles does, America does, and Israel does. Okay. I am going to pull up the chart and you guys can't see it. I'm sorry. But I will tell you what it is. Let me pull up. It annoys me that I can't share my screen. I have to restart my computer every time. You guys let me know what that is about. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to talk about the eclipse and how it's going to affect Donald Trump. First of all these charts that I'm talking about, I'll try to do it quickly. They have a T-square, and the T-square is a cardinal T-square. Okay. T-squares is a highly Okay, cardinal energy is all about initiation and action, which is very interesting because it's Aries, right? It's about confronting action, challenges. It's about some type of change, something new. Cardinal represents new, starting, beginning, and there is a challenge. T square means that there's an opposition from from the eclipse to something in your chart that's a personal planet in your chart, And these two can't see eye to eye. And then the apex is a challenge. There is something even challenging both of those planets that can't even see eye to eye. That is called a T-square. Okay. Now he has this T-square, and it's going to T-square his Mercury and his Neptune. Okay. And you're talking about Mercury's in the sign Cancer, is in his 12th house. Neptune is in the sign Libra, is at 5 degrees in his 3rd house. You're talking about communication, the truth, deception, and mental clarity. Now, I'm just going to go. I have a lot of notes, but I'm going to keep it simple. I think that this T-square may manifest this eclipse for Trump. There could be some legal and public scrutiny because the eclipse is happening in his 9th house. So something with legal. Also, the 9th house represents the world. Okay. He's already the president. This is already on a global scale, which we had a global world perspective with that 9 degrees. Okay. But, there's something that could be very international that could be happening. Okay. And it could be very impulsive or aggressive. It is a challenge to him. Okay. But there could be some hidden legal matters or some type of, I don't want to say contracts because Mercury is involved, so there could be some contracts there. His Mercury is also involved, and it's something secretive, like a hidden contract or a communication contract, and it's not going really good with this eclipse. This authority, it's like almost like someone's bossing him, because you are talking about Neptune, which is deceptions. I strongly believe, I'm going to speak in code here, okay, that there is a certain ally, because Neptune is in the sign Libra. His Neptune's in the sign Libra. Let me go back. Oh, let me see. I have his chart here. Yes, his Neptune's in the sign Libra. So I think that there is a particular ally with America. And they're very controlling, they're very dominating, and they're very aggressive, and they're very impulsive, and they're acting out. Okay, that's that eclipse in the 9th house, dealing with the world. And they're like, look, we got some secrets on you. We got something, it's written down, it's on social media. We just have the hidden account. All we have to do is press the button, and bam, your secrets will be given out. This is my theory. This is what I think. Okay. But with him, this is something hidden. There's some secret communications. It could be the subconscious. It could be something that he's trying to protect his homeland, because Cancer is his homeland. Yeah, but it's hidden information we may not see. He could be sabotaging, someone sabotaging him. Also, criminal energy, very criminal, shady energy. Okay. Neptune and Libra, that's about communication. Again, something with a contract, maybe a secret contract. Okay. And you're talking about Neptune could be a secret contract with a religious kind of element or a spiritual element. Okay. If you get what I'm saying. Yes, but the 3rd house, Neptune in that 3rd house is confusion, is deception. Libra is about blurred boundaries with a relationship or with an ally, or this also could be JD Vance. I don't believe it is, but it could be. I'm just telling you all that it is. Okay. But this could be something legal, something that's very public, and there's scrutiny with it. I do believe it's the issue with Gaza already. I think there's something there, and he's communicating, and it sounds crazy. Okay. May not sound crazy to some people, but it sounds crazy to people who are very aware. Okay. I'm going to pull a card for Trump and his T-square. I hope that makes sense. But just deception with media narratives, misinformation, something very hidden in communication. What else do we have? He could have a mental fog, or someone's holding him in prison of some sort. Okay. Issues with the ally or partner. Okay. We have the King of Cups. The King of Cups with this reading for Trump, he is, third right now. He is the president. Cups represents emotions. Cups also represents intuition. It's sitting in a very positive light. I think that he's very aware of what he is saying and what he's doing. I think he's very intuitive because he moves fast a lot. That Neptune is sitting in that 3rd house of intuition and communication. It is retrograding a little bit. Not a little bit, but it is retrograding. However, with that said, I think that he is involved with a relationship with an ally, and he is using his intuition, and he's probably trying to do his best. I'm not Team Trump. I want you to be very clear. I'm just correlating what I'm just explaining what the cards are saying. We have the 4 of Swords here, and it's and forest represents resting of the tongue, resting the communication, and maybe he has to take a break from what he's saying. But I still think there's imprisonment. The King of Cups is very highly intuitive. So I would say that he's highly intuitive and he's very aware, but there's some secrets. The tongue is being held back. Okay. So not saying that what Trump does is good. I'm saying with this eclipse regarding an ally of some sort, he may know better, but he can't say it. Okay. Or he can't sign the contract doing it. Now let's talk about Elon Musk. That is the eclipse for Trump, and it is squaring. That means it is a challenge. Okay. Now let's talk about Elon. Now, when I'm looking at Elon Musk, he has a very strong T-square. Why does he have a strong T-square? Because he had an exact 9 degrees. Let me see. Elon is a Cancer in the first house. What did I see of Elon? Why did I think it was strong? This one. What was that 9 degrees? Oh, it's at 8 degrees. Who had a 9 degree? Was it Trump? Let me see. Cardinal Square, Eclipse, New Beginnings, yada, yada, yada. Libra. Where's his Libra energy? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong. I'm looking at Trump's, like Trump's. Okay. Yes. Okay. This is why it's a strong square, T-square for Elon. So more than anything, this is definitely going to affect Elon. It probably already is. Okay. Remember, this can last up to 24 months. It could start 25 months. It can start before, after, while, during. Okay. Now he has Neptune at 9 degrees. It is opposing the eclipse at 9 degrees. So it is directly affecting his chart. Now, it is Uranus in the sign Libra in his 4th house. Uranus is the planet of rebelling, innovation, disruption. Is also in charge of communication, and he's in charge of X. So it is about that. It's also, about the future and tech, not all that stuff he does, like the Teslas and all that stuff. It's about breaking free from restrictions. And now it's opposing that eclipse. Okay. But the energy is very serious. Is going to affect him. There's something unexpected happening. All right. Now, when you have Uranus in the sign Libra, you're talking about harmony, balance, relationships, unconventional relationships. He has it already. A tendency toward non-traditional ideas about fairness and justice. He thinks a little bit different. He's a little bit out of the box with that. Now, when you're talking about it's in the 4th house, you're talking about your family, your roots, your home, your emotional foundation, disruptions at home, maybe real estate or property. That's going to affect him. A sense of security and emotional grounding. That's going to change. This could impact his reputation because the eclipse is sitting there on his 10th house. This is about his career versus his personal life. So he could have a disruption in some type of partnership or some type of legal agreement. Libra does represent the law, legal. So there could be something there or something that's regarding justice related matters. Okay. Now, squaring his sun is in the sign Cancer. He is a Cancer sun, and that's in his 1st house. So it's really about him. Okay. And he also has Venus in that 1st house. So him and relationships are a big deal. Him and Trump, that's a relationship. Him or whatever type of relationship is a big deal. He had a relationship with the girl Amber Heard too. I think that's her name, the one who dated the guy who was in court. Anyway, but Musk's identity, it's about his ego, his self-expression, his emotional world, because it's in Cancer, his public persona. Cancer is the energy of protection, sensitivity, deeply connected to his family roots, and his emotions, right? So there's tension there. There's tension between this eclipse that's going to come and change something out that's very authoritative or leadership or bold. There's intention there as far as his career, balancing his personal life. There's a problem there versus his self. And the self we will see, okay? Identity crisis, public image challenge, defensive. He can have an image issue. We will see it. Disruption in his personal life, unpredictable events affecting his foundation, like what he literally stands on. Leadership under fire. Now, the 1st house, the sun also deals with the body, the physical body in his life. So he could have some health issues, or he could be stressed or exhausted. Now it's missing some Capricorn energy. So you're talking about him being practical, him being strategic, him planning. All that is out the door, okay? And we did talk about how the Sabian symbol is dealing with your intuition, and he may not be using that. He may be very restless and moving too fast, and it could be causing a public image problem. This could already be happening. Now, side note, it is trining his Mercury, so he is able to communicate the best way that he can, and is trining his Neptune. So the deception of things and his secrets may not be happening, or maybe he's able to withhold some secrets. Now, but also Mercury is sextile. His Saturn, which is also long-term energy, which he was missing that Capricorn energy. I don't want to get too detailed because I can keep going with reading a chart. What I can say is that I do think that this is something that's going to change in his career. It could be mild, but we will see it in the public because it is dealing in the 10th house, which we see, and it's also dealing in the first house, which we also see. And it's something dealing with him personally, and it's conflicting his home life, his foundation, or something dealing from his past, and something with his career. Okay, so that is what we have. Elon's is the strongest because it's hitting directly 9 degrees, so this eclipse will affect him, and I will let you know in the future if we see something going on with Elon. I'll even see if I look at the past, because I know he's strong with Doge, and it could be something with Doge. Now, if you're here to see about Los Angeles, because if you live in LA, this is also affecting Los Angeles, this eclipse, okay? It's sitting another T-square, okay? And this T-square is dealing with the eclipse is sitting on top of our moon. I say R because I live in LA. The moon is in sign Aries if you live in LA in 3 degrees. And remember, the eclipse is at 9 degrees in Aries. So it's sitting right on top of the moon. It's also going against, that's in our 7th house, okay? So the moon in Aries is in the 7th house of LA. So you're talking about legal matters, you're talking about open enemies, you're talking about partnership, how the aesthetics of some sort, the look of LA, could it be looking trashy? There could be a change there, a bold new look for how we feel, how LA looks. And the moon does represent the people of LA too. But it could be something emotional, and it could be dealing with justice, fairness. It could be dealing with all those strikes that could be happening as well. Now, it's opposing LA's Neptune and Libra. Neptune and Libra in LA means that there's an illusion of how we look like we seem like we're all beautiful, but when you come here, it's not that beautiful. But just want you to know. But the Neptune is sitting at 4 degrees. Venus is sitting at 4 degrees. It's opposing this eclipse, okay? So you have this opposition opposing the eclipse, and then you have it squaring our Uranus. Okay. Uranus is in the sign Cancer, and that's at 2 degrees. Okay. So with this T square, you have Neptune and Libra. You're talking about a very glamorous kind of identity. Everyone looks like they're beautiful, but it's an illusion. Then you have Venus and Libra, and Venus is like, oh, we have the charm. We do have beautiful women in LA, and we're focused on aesthetics. It's really about the aesthetics, the palm tree, the beautiful beaches. That's very LA. Now it's opposing this eclipse. And this eclipse is going to make us have awareness about our identity. Like, who are you truly? We're probably going to be facing the public about our identity, about some public scandals. There could be some kind of off balance energy with LA. Yeah, but legal disputes could be happening, or there's a disillusionment happening with the city's image. Okay. It's squaring Uranus in the sign Cancer. Uranus is expected unexpected. The Uranus at 2 degrees. Now, the MC at 29 degrees is what the fire was, but Uranus at 2 degrees is unexpected events in LA, the earthquakes, okay? Public reputation, government leadership, authority and structures. There's disruptions, there's innovations. So it's challenging the government of LA. It's challenging our Senate, our governor. That could be happening. Now, Cancer represents home, it represents families. So there could be a community or family or home life that is really disrupted by the image, the illusion, and something new is going to happen that's very bold, okay? Shifts in public image and partnerships or legal matters, dealing with your home life. Let me see, public image challenges, I've said that. Scandals in entertainment industry, because you're talking about Hollywood, legal battles, unpredictable leaderships or government changes, that could be happening as well. Emotional reactions and public unrest, that moon in Aries conjunct this eclipse it causes a lot of emotions for LA. Okay. Aries energy can also be very impatient and very confrontational. So you could be seeing some people who are very unhappy and very confrontational in LA. Let's see what this is. I will be looking at it because I live in LA, and I'll see how this is connected to maybe what we're already living through, because I think it does, especially after the fires, and what we're going to be experiencing within the next 2 years. Okay. Now, let me talk about America and how this T square involves America as well. USA's chart. Now, in America, this eclipse is happening in our fifth house. And I say ours because I am from America. Okay. And it's sitting right on top of our IC. IC is our homeland. It's in the fourth house. Well, it's sitting close to the fourth house. It's really the fifth house. It could be dealing with uh uh celebrities too, okay, because that fifth house represents celebrities. But the IC is about our roots, our homeland, our domestic affairs, our national identity. Okay. Yeah, and it's also foundation and security. There is going to be an eclipse happening for our national identity. Okay. Aries is a very independent. So now are we more independent than what we were? I know we seem like a very strong country, but maybe we weren't. Maybe there was this relationship and now there's a change in a relationship, a certain ally. Okay. Now it's sitting there and it's opposing our MCs as, and our MC is in Libra. So maybe this is a public relationship that we have, and this eclipse is going to change it. Again, this makes me think of Israel. This makes me think of Israel. Hold on. As well, but conflict between internal domestic issues and national public image or global leadership are like a global relationship that we have. The square is a stallion in Cancer. If you didn't know, America is Cancer energy. We have a sun in Cancer, Jupiter in Cancer, Venus in Capricorn, Mercury retrograding in Cancer. But it's really touching Jupiter, it's really touching Venus, and it's touching the sun. Okay. All these things are affected. So the sun represents our core and identity and our leadership. That is going to be a challenge. There's something in regards to a relationship and our roots in our past that's going to change. Jupiter is about abundance in the world. Again, world stage, how we are around the world, our optimism, our homeland security, our protecting our policies, all that's going to be affected. Venus in the sign Cancer, you're talking about our past relationships, you're talking about our values, our finances, our diplomatic relationships. It's in the eighth house. Eighth house is about transformation. Is going to change. There's a rebirth. There's a power dynamic here. There's some secrets, crisis, transformation, transformative processes. Okay. The square can be financial, political change or power struggles, economic crisis, tax reforms, debt, money that we owe others. That could be a major shift that could be happening with this eclipse. Let me see what else. Foundation upheavals, because you're talking about our IC, public image and global relationships, that could be changing. And I'm thinking about Israel, economic and power struggles. I do think that Israel has some type of secret hold on America. And this eclipse could be bringing some new energy into changing that. Let's see. But it is in a house of the eighth house, and it's about transformation through a crisis. And historically, when this happens, when there's an eclipse involving America, you had a leadership change, a presidential crisis, an economic collapse, major reform far as finances, cultural upheavals, shifts in global standing, either through diplomatic conflict or new internal alliances. I do believe when the planets enter Aries, and maybe when, because you are talking about 9 degrees. So 9 degrees means that when these planets, Saturn or Neptune, hits 9 degrees, this energy that I'm reading now will probably change some things. Okay. Speaking of Israel, this is also affecting Israel's chart. I do not think that is a coincidence that it's T-squaring America's chart and also T-squaring Israel's chart. So when I go to Israel's chart, and I'm sorry that I cannot show you, the eclipse in Israel is dealing in the seventh house. The seventh house means open enemies, also alliances, which we are. America is an alliance to Israel. Now it's T-squaring. It's in the seventh house. Partnerships, I explained that. It's in the sign Aries, very bold, something new. Okay. The eclipse is giving us something new, a new boldness, a new courageousness to actually be like, you know what? This relationship is not working anymore. Or maybe the open enemy of Israel is like, you know what? Screw you guys. We're going to be bold and we're going to attack because it does represent war. Now, it's opposing Neptune in the first house. Neptune, they have a Neptune in Libra, just like we have a Neptune in Libra. Illusions in relationships. It's a fake relationship, okay? But it's Israel's identity. They come off as a religious country because Neptune is in that first house. So Israel's national identity and self-image could be illusions, could be secrets, okay? Something like that, but it's in Libra, so it's underlying confusion and misinterpretations with being very diplomatic or also with partnerships, okay? Is challenging that eclipse. Is challenging that eclipse. Something is going to eclipse with their partners or with their alliances or with their open enemies, and it's not going to go with that illusion of partnerships that they have. I do think this is probably the beginning of America being allies, and maybe it's not going to work. I know Trump is president, but let's see what happens within his 2 years. Now it's squaring Venus in Cancer. Venus in Cancer is their energy of partnerships from the past. Okay, that could be changing, and this is a public partnership because that public partnership is is in their 10th house. So they really work on having these relationships. Okay, Venus in Cancer in that 10th house, Israel's public image, leadership, and values. That Cancer adds a layer of protecting. It adds an element of emotional heritage, thinking about their past, being very strong about their past. Their image is all about, their aesthetic is all about their past, which is their history, their national security. The squaring could be tensions between leadership, values, external diplomatic pressures, partnerships, allies, leadership struggles, public controversies, conflict between national interests and international expectations. Okay. I do think with the predictions with this is that there's going to be issues with their alliances. Okay. Of course, they have open enemies, potential real world scenarios. International relationships change, leadership changes happening, media and public perceptions in a battle of that definitely could be happening, right? You're talking about that Neptune in the first house, misinformation, propaganda, wars, international misrepresentations, all that can be happening. Israel may be struggling with controlling its narrative on a global stage, leading to misunderstandings and reputation damages. I'm not being biased. I'm telling you what it reads. A T-square is no good. A T-square is not good for Trump. A T-square is not good for Elon. A T-square is not good for Los Angeles. T-square is not good for America. T-square is not good for Israel. So across the board, and with America and Israel, you're dealing with some type of illusions. With Elon, it was something directly dealing with his Uranus. Something unexpected is going to happen. And with LA, I forgot LA's, our moon, our emotions, and the people of LA. So yes, that is what is going to happen. Now, globally, just as outside of all the things that I said, Israel and all that stuff, globally, there could be some political upheavals, some leadership changes. There could be something dealing with military action, because Aries always represents war, conflict, the military, the police, political scandals involving misinformation. Remember, Mercury is involved. There is some delusions with Neptune, but you have to use your intuition regardless, okay? Bold political moves. Mercury retrograding as well. So there could be some delays. Something is not being said fast enough. It's moving slow, the discussions, okay? We may see breakthroughs in leadership, a focus on independence and individuality. We won't be in a partnership with someone anymore. That could be also an alliance, okay? Social movements demanding more individuality and freedom. There could be aggression when it comes to debates and speaking. Be aware of that. That's why I got off of social media. Also, we may see a shift in healthcare, technology, and leadership, individual rights and innovation, collective awakening, protests, social movements, oil-related disasters, because Neptune is in that Pisces. It's related to floods, oil spills, and contamination. Health crisis involving a virus or mental health issues could be a thing. Neptune's influences points to potentials of oil spills, flooding, marine disasters. Anything dealing with the sea is Neptune, especially in Pisces, okay? Mismanagement of our national resources. Now, when it comes to technology, you are talking about, it could be some data leaks because you're talking about Pluto Pluto is sextile, and Pluto is in the sign Aquarius, and that is TikTok, that is massive email, something like that. But there could be some technical some technology breakthroughs that's going to work really well if the eclipse is if we're working with this eclipse. So cyber attacks, data leaks, privacy scandals, yeah, protests around tech or regulation. Pluto in Aquarius is also about freedom of speech. Okay. Now, I do think this is going to affect a lot of celebrities and athletes. I didn't look at their charts, but Aries energy, because we are talking about the body, this eclipse can affect athletes. Okay, if you give me an athlete, I'm not that too keen on athletes. Okay, if you give me an athlete, I will shoot it out there and look them up in the chart and let you know. I'll put it in a comment down below. If you just say like LeBron, I'll look up his chart and see if this eclipse will affect him. But celebrity scandals involving miscommunication or deception, or even with athletes, because it is, again, the physical body. Yeah, maybe they decide to be very spiritual and no longer want to be a part of this team. Libra does represent team, and you don't want to be a part of it. You want to be an individual. There could be some breakups or some secret affairs being exposed. Yeah, or some legal battles, because you are dealing with that Pluto transformation energy, and unexpected voices of activism from a celebrity, from a YouTuber. Not necessarily YouTuber. No, not. I think athletes. Okay. Now let me pull a card. Oh, I didn't pull a card for each person. Let me pull a card for Elon. We have Elon. We have the Hangman. There's some deception there. There's something secretive happening. Far as Los Angeles, lack of resources. That's the 5 of coins for Los Angeles. And then far as USA, we're sitting pretty, self-made, abundance. I do think there is going to be some newfound freedom with that, right? And then lastly, we are dealing with Israel. We have the Prince of Wands. Wands is all about fire and drive and conflict. So I do think they're like, we're ready to fight. I think Israel is not scared to fight anyone. Okay. So we do have that. That is what we have. Oh, let me do the collective advice for this eclipse, just for the collective. Okay. Set some bold intentions. You want to be first, it's okay. You want to try something new, you want to be independent. If you're feeling any of these energies, this is the eclipse working in your way, working for your way. It's going to be scary. You have to be bold. You have to try something that you've never tried before. You will be alone, but there is courage, there is bravery with this loneliness, not loneliness, with this individualism energy. Also, you have to use your intuition across the board. This is something that's bigger than you. This is something that's dealing with the world. Okay, so let's say you are an esthetician. I just always bring like my kids into it. My daughter's an esthetician, and you're like, you know what? I want to be bold. I don't want to work for this company anymore. I want to do it on my own. This is probably going to spark a drive for someone else that can help someone globally. Okay. Or maybe you need to put your business out in a worldwide web, which is also a global scale at it, and you need to use your intuition. Be open to change, release the past. Okay, use this lunar eclipse to release anything dealing with Libra energy. That means being codependent. That means a partnership. That means a team. That means that you were just focused on your aesthetics and your looks, and it was superficial energy. Or also, maybe it looked good that you were together with this group, and it really you need to be by yourself. Also, the Aries letting go of the Libra energy is also dealing with being fair and balanced, and you probably weren't fair, and you need to release the injustice that you were doing. Okay, and mind your business. Okay. Okay, so how does this eclipse work with the other eclipse, you guys? Remember we had the video that I did before. I do want you to look at that one, because that one is stronger. That eclipse is stronger. The lunar eclipse in Virgo helps us let go of old habits, of patterns that are very critical and very serious and uptight and very detailed and very judgmental, right? You're healing, and together the releasing of the critical energy and gaining power is how it connects. So the lunar eclipse in Virgo helps us reflect and release outdated patterns or habits, clearing away for the solar eclipse in Aries to inspire bold new beginnings. So you're talking about decluttering. That's Virgo energy. Decluttering your emotional and practical life, while Aries is pushing you to be decisive and clear. Okay. Balance the earth with fire, balance practicality with the drive and moving forward. Virgo asks, how can you serve and heal? Aries, because the last eclipse is in Virgo, which is 2 weeks before the eclipse that I'm discussing now. Aries eclipse is going to ask, how can I lead and initiate change? So how can you heal? How can you serve? How can you release the energy of being perfect and connected to being bold and courageous? Okay. Yes. The next eclipse season is going to be in September. Those are the fall eclipse. I'm going to go over those. Yeah, let me see. Oh, and yeah, I'm like too tired to do all the horoscopes. I'm so sorry. I'm going to do it for the collective and I'm going to move fast. The collective, we have the 9 of Wands. Wait, hold up. Actually, before I do, I need to get some water. So we are going to get some water and I am going to do the horoscope. So let me just do the water first. Hello there, my beautiful souls. I am Danielle Carmelita, your favorite tarot reader and astrologer. Are you ready to take your spiritual journey to the next level? Introducing Danielle's Astro Tarot Elite Club, your exclusive getaway to daily insights, cosmic guidance, and so much more for just $4.99 a month. As a member, you'll receive daily readings designed to align your day with the universe's energy. Start each day with clarity and confidence. Do you need a personal reading, or do you want to have your astrology chart read fully? With being a member, you also can enjoy exclusive discounts on all my offerings just for our elite members only. All for just one. Okay, so we are going to do the horoscopes, and I would read the eclipse, but actually because we need to use our intuition, we're going to go tarot only. Now, before actually I do all the individual signs, I'm going to say that for the collective, it is saying the 9 of Wands. The 9 of Wands is that during this eclipse, we have to persevere. Okay, it's about resilience. It's about standing strong about yourself. Okay, against any type of challenges. It's about battle ones. It's about fighting hard and not giving up. It's courage. It's independence. It's taking action. There's very, I don't want to show her nudity. There's very warrior-like energy here. It's a fire. It's all about fire with the wands, and it's all about staying strong and persevering. Yeah, so that is what we have for that. Now I'm going to do Aries. Aries, we have the 3 of Wands. Again, passion. It's all about moving forward. This is about you did the research. Now it's time to move forward. Straight up, just move forward. Continue. You already have the research. Start the journey. Okay. Taurus, for you, we have the Queen of Wands. Again, more passion, more fire, more drive. But yet you have to add compassion. Compassion looks like charity. So charity while moving forward, being very compassionate and giving and nurturing while you are physically being aggressive. You want to do both, okay? But it's very fire, very creative, very passionate, and hardcore drive, okay? For you, Taurus, that's what this eclipse means for you. Gemini, this eclipse, again, more fire energy. It's about you researching, okay? And you being very passionate about your research. You being very optimistic about your research. Geminis, you can read. You're great with words. You're great with research, okay? It's about getting the details, finding the research. The world is at your fingertips, but you have to be very bold and courageous with your research, okay? I will see you next time. Bye. Cancers, let's see what we have. Oh, we have something that's finally not a fire sign. We have the Prince of Disc. This is all about relationships for you, okay? Cancers, relationship of finances, relationships of something tangible. Maybe you need to look at the relationships of your weight, the relationship of your body, the relationship of your expertise. It could be a job that gives you finances, but there's something that needs to be done there, and it needs to start new. Okay, I will see you next time. Bye. Okay, Leo, fire energy already. We have the Prince of Wands, okay? Prince of Wands, major fire energy, very driven, very fast too. So Leo, it's saying to be very bold and fast and bold. Fast and bold. Whatever this eclipse is going to affect you, you got to use your intuition, but whatever it is, you're going to move fast and you're going to be bold. You're going to be very excited and anxious to do it. And this eclipse is going to cause you to do that, okay? Very motivational too. I will see you next time. Bye. Virgos, Queen of Swords. So this is also no fire in here, which is a second energy of no fire. Most of the uh, uh, signs have fire, but the Queen of Swords is saying to communicate with compassion. Okay, you have to be very nurturing with your words. This is also someone who is seeking and doing research. They're using their intellect to do the research. Okay, so there's something new starting with your words, and you're very compassionate though. But there is truth speaking with this. There's healing with your words. I'm someone who's very truthful, very honest, very logical, and wants to know the truth. I just don't know anything else but to say the truth. Okay. Yeah, maybe there's something new in discovering the truth for you, and it's going to help others. I will see you next time. Bye. Okay, Libras, we have the Five of Swords. This is the energy of conflict. So it looks like there's going to be conflict with words because it is going against your Libra. It's going against who you are. You're not used to conflict. You want everything to be balanced. You're kind of passive aggressive, and you just don't want to stir up any problems. But it looks like you got to stir up some problems, and it looks like it's going to come in the form of words or communication of some sort, maybe even social media. I'll see you next time. Bye. Scorpios, we have the Knight of Cups. You're sitting pretty. You sitting pretty. You're like, I'm so content. Look at all these things. You're being very boastful with this. You're enjoying this eclipse. This eclipse is very great for you for some reason. Maybe because you are the energy of healing and spirituality and being deep. But you are basking in some energy. I'm gonna pull another card. Yeah, it looks like it's some energy with we got some dripping here. It looks like it's some energy with finances as well. Okay, I will see you next time. Bye. Okay, Sagittarius, we have the High Priestess. The High Priestess is saying to use your intuition, use your intelligence, your intuitive intelligence. Use your intuitive intelligence with this eclipse. Okay, anything you're starting new, anything you're starting on your own, your individual self, your intuitive intelligence. Okay, this also means some mystic energy, some spiritual energy, some secrets beyond, but it's more about your intuitive energy. All right, we already know, we discussed that in a video this whole time. I'll see you next time. Bye. Capricorns, we have that the words are hurting your back. This is a Ten of Swords. There's something stabbing your back. It's something with communication. Mercury's not working good. Okay, you're lost in the sauce. You're hurt with the words. You're at the end of it. But there is going to be some new clarity coming your way, Capricorns, in regard to whatever it is that this eclipse is going to bring new into your life. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye. Aquarius, we have the Five of Wands. With the Five of Wands, there's conflict or there's competition. Okay, it's one or the other. You have to choose. I wouldn't choose the conflict part. I would go like, I'm competing against others. I have the drive and energy to move ahead on my own. All right, I will see you next time. Bye. And lastly, Pisces, there's some secrets, there's some deception, someone stealing from you when it comes to word. Yeah, we are dealing with that Neptune, and it's something from your past with this eclipse. You got to release the past because we are moving with the future. And we have the Princess Swords. It's something with your words. It's something you have to research. It's something with the truth or logic. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me see what else I have. If you're loving these insights and you want to dive deeper into celebrity charts or weekly readings or exclusive astrology predictions, join my Danny Tarot Elite Club. Okay, it's a private community, only costs $4.99 a month. We talk about Mercury retrograde survival kits. I do the weekly readings. I go in deep about some things. Okay, I'm actually going to do a deep reading about this eclipse for them. Yeah, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.
Bye bye.